This screencast is to introduce you to Class Dojo and give you some tips of how Class Dojo can be useful in your classroom. Class Dojo is a classroom management system that can help students be aware of the behavior. It can keep up with it as the day goes on, and parents can see exactly what their child did well and what they maybe needed to work on during the day. So let's get started. You can sign up as a teacher, a parent, or a student. I've talked with parents that have signed up for an account, and it's just so their child can see, oh, mom's really looking at what I'm doing, and I've done such and such really good many times, or I haven't done so well. So let's go into Class Dojo and show you a little bit about Class Dojo. So let's log in to Class Dojo. I really like Class Dojo because the students, it's an instant feedback, and they instantly know, oh, she saw that. So let's look at Class Dojo. If you can see here, you can add your photo, you can create a file. Now I'm going to show you the demo class, and now it'll let you put your own students in. But here you can see the students in this class. Of course, it's not a real class. But when it comes to your class, you can click on students, and you can say, okay, these are the preset behaviors. Either Bradley is doing well in these areas or he needs to work. And so if I click, okay, he's talking out of turn, and it makes a noise. And you can also do it to where you do it on an app, on a smartphone or a tablet, and they can hear that. They may not know who it is, but they might, I just heard that. One of us got dinged, so maybe I need to watch my behavior. Now, if Bradley gets it together, okay, so he's working hard now. So let's give that point back to him, okay? I can also, what if they're all doing really well? So let's select them all and give an award and say, way to go, on task. Or they can all be not doing so well, and you could do, or you could do a couple of them at a time. Matthew, Hallie, and Bradley, you know what? You're talking, so I'm sorry. And you can keep up with that as the day goes on. And so here we can edit our students' behaviors. We can resize the monsters, depends on how we want. We can decide what order we want the students to be in. We can decide how we want the bubbles to be. Don't show the points at all. Do we want the sounds for good or bad, or no sounds at all? These are sorts of things that we can choose from. And if I click here for edit students, now this says, to use Class Dojo with your students, please create your own class. And I have my own class, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So I'm going to say no, let's just use this class. So if I have these students, and then I can change the monsters if I choose to. And so the students, and that's one thing I can do with the students, and I let them pick their monsters at the beginning of the year. But you'll see in just a few minutes that once you send home a code, then the students can create their own monsters at home. And so here are these students, and I can also change my behaviors. I can add several more things. I could put, a different picture. I can change these and choose which ones I want to do, whether it's a good behavior or it's a negative behavior. Now let me come over here and let me give you a brief overview of what you can show your student.
Hey, welcome to Class Dojo. Class Dojo is a tool that makes your classroom more fun, and it helps you become a better student too. Your teacher will set up Class Dojo and make a list of actions to try to do this year, like participating, helping others, and staying on task. When When your teacher notices that you're doing these actions, you'll receive Dojo points. And at the end of the day, you can find out how you've done. You can see what you're doing well and also learn where you need improvement. The best part is this: you get your very own avatar. We'll give you one to start with, but you can make your own avatar once your teacher gives you your secret code. Log in at home using your secret code and you'll be able to make your own avatar. See how you did in class, and see all your friends too. We hope you love using Class Dojo, like millions of students all around the world do. Now, your teacher will tell you more about how you're going to use Class Dojo in your classroom. Have fun!
All right, now I don't know about you, but that would excite me if I was a student. So let me go to my class and give you some examples of some of the things that you can do. Of course, everybody has a point right now. As I showed you before, you can award multiple. You can also reset them and say, okay, I want to select everybody. I want to, get rid of all of them and say, okay, let's reset our bubbles. Or we can do it again. Now, we can have a timer. This has a timer that you could say, okay, how long is this taking us to be quiet? How long is it taking us to do this activity? Or we can do a countdown and say, let's do this for 5 minutes. Okay? And when the timer goes off, then we're finished. Those are some examples that you can do. You can hide the timer so they don't, because I know my class, they like to fixate on the timer. Now, one of the things that I really like is the random. If you're sitting there watching the students, and you kind of see, and it gives them, I don't know if Miss Evans is going to click on me or not, so I'm gonna click random, and I'm gonna look at that student. Oh, I see Christiana. Is Christiana doing a good thing or a bad thing? So I'm looking at her, and they don't know when I'm gonna click to see someone and say, oh, she's on task, or no, you know what? She's over there talking, she's disrespectful, those sorts of things. Now, as you can see, if I'm going to do random, these aren't the best behaviors to choose for that. So this is when you would really want to customize and add some more behaviors. Talking, not following directions, out of your seat, those sorts of things. You can just, kind of tailor these to your needs and for your students. You can also look at the report, and that's one thing it showed you in the video, and there's nothing here because I took their points away, but I can say let's go to all time, and it'll give you just a little view. Say just some things. There were only a few behaviors that needed work, but also if I was really doing this with fidelity right now, which I'm not using this a lot. I have used this in the past, but it depends on your class and the success that you all have with it as well. So you can take attendance, you can do a spreadsheet. Now, if I go back to my home screen, I can say I can invite parents and students, and when I do that, I can print paper. Or I can, send them an email. But if I print the paper invitations, let's look and see what those look like. And it shows you what the little thing was talking about when you have a code. And so the parents need to download the app, because you have the app that you can have on your phone or your tablet, but you can also have it of course on the computer. And the app is very useful if you're walking down the hallway and you see misbehavior. Oh, I'm sorry, you've lost a point. Or, oh my goodness, look at you, you're doing a great job. And they never know whether you're going to be looking or adding points or taking away points. So if you can see here for Alexander, it just, says to the parents, if you sign up, and now once you get the code, then you can change your avatar like we just talked. Parents can also update you on things, but you can use it to, you're updating them on your progress, and the parents can see, well, what exactly did Alexander need work on today. All right, let's go back. So they're able to see it. You're also, let me go back into the class, and you're also able to send messages and say, okay, if a minute ago when I just showed you the invite parents or students, but over here, when I do that, then I can do a whole class broadcast and say, okay, or I can do an individual, say, oh, these students did great today. But you have to be very careful when you do things. It's more basically not, these notifications wouldn't really be about the behavior so much as it would be about, maybe a homework assignment, or, just something that you want to share with your parents. So Class Dojo is a great classroom management tool. Also, you can communicate with parents, and parents can see how students are doing, and they can see really the behaviors that they are doing well or not in, and it's a great home to school tool.